Hello, it's Ash and welcome into this deep stretch. We're going to go longer. We're going to go for 25 minutes. We're going to spend a little bit longer in each stretch so that we can get a little bit deeper into some of these stretches. Now what we're going to do is you might need a wedge or a block or a blanket to elevate your heels because we're going to make a start in deep squat. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the feet just a little bit wider than the hips. Again, now if you've got a wedge or a block, you can place that wedge and elevate the heels so that you can slowly sit down into that deep squat position, move your feet and get into comfortable range with this position. Now I know that this can feel like an unachievable position for some people depending on your hip, your knee and your ankle flexibility and the pain that you might have in there. So again, elevate the heels higher if you need to with a block, the wedge or that cushion, whatever it may be. But I'm going to come down. If you can sit down into that full deep squat position. And this is a really nourishing position to start. So we're just going to have a little bit of a move around. And again, the real slow, light, little dynamic movements. So slow dynamic stretching is one of the best forms of movement. It's like a movement massage. So it's a really good way to help promote blood flow and recovery into those tissues that you've just worked. Okay, so nice and slowly. If at any point you need to, you can come up and you can have a little bit of a wiggle around and come out of it. I know it can get a bit intense sometimes because, again, we're getting compression through the ankle, through the knee, through the hips. But all of that compression, which basically means the squishing of the muscles and the tendons and the nerves together, as long as we're just gentle, really nice sort of nourishing compression. Again, so breathe. Keep the spine long as you just gently sway or tip forwards and backwards. Slowly breathing down. So the breath is so important at helping us recover. It helps calm the nervous system. The heart rate will, the blood pressure will lower, and then all of that stress, the cortisol and the adrenaline hormones will start to just dissipate, dissolve, and all of those relaxing and healing chemicals will start to flood throughout our brain. Okay, so from here, now what we're going to do is place the right hand to the floor. And if it's okay, we can bring that left hand up and just gently open up through the hips. And maybe you feel that in the hips and the side of the ribs. And just look up to the sky, relax the shoulders, take a breath in. As you breathe out, just gently come down with that hand. And then from here, again, nice and tall through the spine, breathe in, slowly lift that other hand up. Again, a little bit of a gentle twist. Make sure you're not forcing. Exhale, come down. Make sure, again, as we go through this, because we're going deeper, you might go in towards a sort of 7.5 out of 10, but have the 7 out of 10 intensity mindset. So don't push more than a 7 or a 7.5 your body. You'll be feeling like, oh my gosh, it should feel like, oh, that feels nice. With that, right hand down, left hand up. Slow breath in. And then a slow exhale, bringing the hand down. Okay, to the other side. Slow inhale, arm up. Slow exhale, arm down. And then nice and easy, just bringing their hips up. Now I'm going to come to the top of the mat to show this because we are going to go into a downward facing dog after this. So take the feet about just a little bit wider than hip width distance apart and keep a really good bend in the knees so your hands can touch the floor. Now you might feel a little bit of a stretch already at the back of the thighs, the hamstrings, that's okay. Let the head hang like a heavy melon and just gently sway to the left, to the right. You might even feel that opening up the ribs back at the back and the shoulders and the arms. Okay, nice and slowly just start to bend the knees as if you're sitting down into a chair. Again, just go down towards your deep squat, not all the way down, and then slowly, again, breathe and just send the hips back up and go a little bit deeper into that hamstring stretch so you're straightening the legs a little bit more. But again, not aggressive. Make sure, are you in a 7 out of 10 or are you going too far? Look through the knees and just sway gently side to side. Breathe. Nice and easy. Okay, and from here, step the left foot, then the right foot back. Now we can keep it into a sort of half press up, half downward facing dog if it's, because so that's a lot nicer for your shoulders. Or you could push into a deeper sort of more of a downward facing dog, and slow pedal. Now what we're going to do is pedal into the left heel, push into the left heel. Should feel, and pause, should feel a really good stretch from the heel, the Achilles area, going up through the calf muscle at the back of the lower leg. Try not to lock the leg out because we don't want to feel it in the back of the knee. We don't want to stretch that sciatic nerve. So keep a slight bend. Okay, slowly pedal into the right heel. Push the right heel in. Again, you should feel a really nice stretch. Feels so good. Really enjoying this. I hope you are. Okay, again, nice and slow. Again, really slow, deep, dynamic stretch. Breathe. If at any point the shoulders or the wrists don't like it, give them a break. Trying to breathe in and out through the nose, and let's slowly switch to the right side. Which side feels tighter? Is it the left or the right, or are they about the same? Let's go back to the left. Nice slow pedal. Bend that right knee. Breathe. Okay, back to the right one more time. Get nice and easy, slowing the breathing down. Okay, and then slowly bring the knees down. From here, we're going to go into a cat-cow, so into the spine. Press your belly to the floor, bring your chin up. Breathe in as we do that. And then as you breathe out nice and slowly, round through your back and squeeze the breath out. Push the belly button up to the sky. Okay, belly to the floor, breathe in. And just go through your own inhale and exhale now. And then exhaling, slowly releasing. So I've done a video, as you carry on with this, nice and slowly. I've done a video recently about my client Valerie and her heart rate data, and how stretching and yoga has made a massive difference to her life in terms of reducing her heart rate, which will reduce her stress, which will reduce her blood pressure, which will reduce the muscle tension that she has in the body, and then all of the physiological benefits from that. So that's why it's really important that we have a stretching routine. It's not just about the range of motion benefits that we get from it, or being more flexible or more supple, whatever it may be. It's the reduction in stress and the intensity that our heart rate has to face every day in this modern busy world. Okay, we're going to come down onto your elbows now and stretch your legs out behind you. Toes touch, bring your waist down. Okay, again, just have a wiggle and get comfortable. Lift the head and chest slightly and just have a little look over one shoulder and then over the other. Breathe. So if you need a bit of consistency or motivation or accountability, you can have a free insight of what it's like to work with me as your coach by having a look in the link in the description below. There's a free 7-day program. You sign up with your email and I send you the email straight back. Or if you're on TV with this now, you can have a look at runbetterwithash.com. The coaching options there. You can either work with me one-to-one coaching, or you can do your own self-coaching through the app, which is more of a budget-friendly option. Okay, nice and slowly come down onto your chest. And we're going to get into the quads and the hip flexors now. So the thigh and just above the thigh at the front of the hip. We're going to bring the left foot into the left hand. Get the head and the right hand and shoulder comfortable. Breathe. Now pull the left heel into the hip and then release it. Find a 7 out of 10 and then release. And just think about pushing that left hip a little bit into the floor as you do that as well. How does that feel? So how was your run today? What did it go like? What was it, a planned part of your training, or was it a run for health and longevity, or maybe stress reduction? What was the run's purpose? Why did you do it? Did it achieve its purpose? How did your body feel today? Okay, release that left foot and then just gently adjust your head and shoulders and just bring the right foot and right heel into the right hip. Again, nice and slow. Heel in and then release. Breathe as we do that. Is there anything that you know that has affected the way that your run was today, or your energy levels? Maybe you didn't sleep right, maybe you didn't fuel your energy levels weren't right. Maybe you didn't fuel your run very well, or your day very well. Or maybe you just had a really busy, stressful day that's impacted your performance. So we don't overthink it, but just noticing makes us understand the bigger picture a little bit more, and we can maybe tweak a few things. How does this side feel, this right thigh compared to the left? A slow pulsing, again slow dynamic stretch. Heel in, heel out. Okay, and slowly release that right foot. And then just gradually come up. We're going to touch the toes together and bring the knees nice and wide and take it down into what's called a child's pose. Now as you bring your heels to your hips, bring your forehead down to the mat. Just relax the shoulders. Have a wiggle through the hips. So you I always think about like a crab burrowing its way down into sand. Just slowly letting the hips come down towards the heels, squishing the ankles, the shins, the knees. Make sure it's not painful. Again, check, is it a 7 out of 10? So even in this, what looks like a simple shape, there's a lot of deep work going on. If we rest here with real subtle, slow, dynamic movement, we're squishing, nourishing the muscle and tendon tissues with the gentle movement. How do you breathe here? Okay, nice and easy, just starting to lift the head and chest. And as we come forward, we're going to step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. And just lunge down. Now we should feel that at the right thigh, right hip flexor area at the top of the right thigh. Maybe into the left hip groin and left back of the thigh. You might feel it a little bit in the abdominal area, but just have a little bit of a move around. Again, slow dynamic movement. It's going to nourish the body. Breathe as we do that. And try not to just collapse through the neck, so you're not just allowing the neck to just drop. Keep a sense of lifting, but not too tense through the neck. Now this next shape is not a challenge. It's not the yoga games, it's not the stretching championships. I want you to listen to your body and don't copy me if your body doesn't want to go here. Okay, so you could come down one elbow and then the other, but this might feel totally unachievable for you. And I want you to listen to your body. Don't copy me just for the sake of it. Okay, so just find either elbows or hands, and then just find that, again, that deep work where you're letting the hips drop to the floor. You're moving slowly, the shoulders and the jaws relaxed. You breathe in. You should feel again like, oh, that feels nice, nourishing for the body. Let's bring the hands back up, and from here what we're going to do now is walk the hands to the knee at the back and pull, so it starts to straighten this left leg, but don't fully lock it out. We don't want to go all the way into the fully locked position. We don't want to stretch the sciatic nerve at the back of the knee. Rest the hands to the floor. Now the hands should be there supporting to the floor. If you need to bend the knee a lot like this, let's do that. So wherever you are, don't look at my body and copy it. Listen to where a 7 out of 10 for you is. And then when you find it, just gently Rock the hips forwards and backwards, maybe into a 7 out of 10 and a 6, a 7 and a 6. Relax the jaw and the shoulders and breathe. Now we want to be feeling this right in the belly of the hamstring, so right in the middle of the hamstring, the back of the thigh area here. So have a look at that, and is that's where you're feeling that you're doing this right. If you're feeling at the back of the knee, you need to bend your knee more. Breathe. You might be getting a little bit in the the calves as well, at the lower leg here, depending on how tight you are there. Just check the body for other areas don't want to be tense, so just check and soften them. Okay, walk the hands to the top of the mat. Step the left foot back. Feel the after sensations in that. Compare the left leg to the right leg. So one feels lighter, free, maybe longer, and one feels a bit more dull and heavy and not as refreshed. Go hips to heels now. Let's stretch the shins. So slowly sit the hips towards the heels. If your ankles or your feet or your knees don't like it, don't go all the way. So again, some nice compression, some deep work into the shins and the feet. Just have a gentle sway left and right with the hips. Again, nice compression. If you're getting pain in that, again, you don't do it. If it feels more than a 7 out of 10, you come out of it a little bit more. Bring the hips off the heels like this and go left and right. Wherever your range of comfort is, don't just follow me. I want you to learn and connect and listen to your body. Ultimately as well, that will make you a better runner, because you will be able to respond to the signals that your body is giving the brain. You'll be able to make sense of those feedback signals quicker, respond to them in your posture, in any niggles that you might be feeling, in any areas that you feel that you might need to just tense up a little bit or soften a little bit. When we learn and we connect and we listen to our body, we make a greater relationship, and we can have a much better understanding of what our body does through movement. Okay, walking the hands to the top of the mat, step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Again, wiggle, move, find what feels like, ooh, that feels good. Avoid, oh my gosh, we don't want that. So feel good, and like, ooh, that feels nice. And we definitely want to avoid, oh my gosh, that's too much. So that's the sensations that we're looking for and not looking for. Again, breathe in and out through the nose if you can. Try and keep the exhales slightly longer than the inhales, which encourages that resting and digesting phase, so the nervous system calms down. Okay, come down onto the elbows nice and slowly, if your body will allow you. Remember, it's not the stretching championships or the yoga games. Stay on the hands if that's a 7 out of 10 for you. Just ask yourself, is this a 7 out of 10? Respond kindly. So why is this a deep session? Well, as you can see, we're going for longer and going a little bit deeper. So the longer we stay move in each shape, you might notice that the body softens a little bit and it gives you a little bit more. You can go a little bit deeper out of it. Just slow, softening, dynamic movements with the breath helps the body relax. And those receptors that are firing off, saying, whoa, 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 don't go any further, they start to just calm down a little bit, and then you can go a bit deeper into it. Okay, walk back up onto the hands. Walk the hands to the knee at the back. Pull the toes slightly. Now, you don't have to pull the toes. Just keep a bend in the knee. Hands touching the mat in a supported way is really important. Again, really important that we're feeling the stretch at the back of the right thigh, right in the middle of the belly of the muscle, not in the back of the knee. So check that. Again, rock back into a 7 out of 10 and then rock forwards into a 6. Go 6, then 7 and breathe. So my run today was an interval session. I went to the track today. So my local track has just reopened after a few months being closed. It's a really hot, humid, cloudy day where it doesn't look hot. But when you get running, especially with the heat bouncing off the track, it just felt so difficult to breathe. I was sweating a lot, more than I thought I would. It was a tough session today, so I did some 400 metre interval repeats today. So it was enjoyable but intense. But it's good to challenge yourself. It's good to stay mentally and physically strong and take ourselves out of our comfort zone. Okay, we're going to walk the hands to the top of the mat. Then we're going to step that left foot back. Again, we're going to go slowly, hips to heels. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to start to come forward, bring the knees down and bring the left knee nice and wide. Bring the elbows down, sorry, and bring the left knee nice and wide like this. We're just going to start with a gentle work into the groin. Take the left foot wider than the left knee. So we're in a half frog here. We're going to go into full frog in a moment to really work into the inner thigh, the groin area, and the inner hip. You might even be getting it in the back of the hamstring, the back of the thigh. You might be feeling it at the top of the right hip, the top of the right thigh as well, at the front of the hip flexor area. Breathe. And then slowly step that left foot in. Bring the right foot out again, nice and wide with that knee, and then take the right foot wider than the knee. Again, just soften the hips down into the floor. Gentle pushing the hips into the floor. Lifting the head and chest. Relax the shoulders and the jaw and smile. Okay, step that right foot back in. Now we're going to come into a kneeling position, but then bring it down onto your elbows underneath your shoulders. And now what we're going to do is slowly taking the knees off the mat. Now if you haven't got a cushion or you've got a really hard surface underneath, you might need to get a cushion or some blankets for your knees as you take them wide. So pause the video. Turn the insides of your feet like this so they're touching the floor, and then take it to the point where you feel a really good stretch on the insides of your thighs, so the inner thigh, the groin area. Now just gently rock to the back and then to the forwards. Find a 7 out of 10 and really let your elbows take some of the supporting work as you just gently rock forwards and back. So this is a really deep stretch. You'll feel, as you breathe and relax into it, you'll feel the groin area, the inner thighs start to open up. Again, smile. It's really good for calming the nervous system. How does this feel? Does it feel quite intense? Okay, we're going to slowly step one knee up and then the other. Have a little bit of a wiggle around again. And then go hips to heels, and this time bring the left knee to left wrist. Bring the right knee up off the floor. Take the left foot across the mat and then slowly ease your way backwards. Hips coming down into the floor. If you've got a cushion or block, you can sit the left hip into the floor. And then just move to the left and to the right with this. Breathe as we do this. Nice work into that left hip, left bum area. So the IT band, piriformis, the glute muscles. Relax the shoulders and the jaw. You can lift the head and chest. You might be getting that in that right hip flexor area again at the front of the hip. Lower torso area. Slowly sway to the left and to the right. So again, if you've enjoyed this insight, this free content, and you're wanting to know more of, again, how you can get more structured training with me, you can have a free sample, having a look in the link in the description below. Sign up with your email, or again, if you're on the TV, you can have a look at runbetterwithash.com, and I can help you run better with some guidance and support and motivation through my app. Okay, we're going to slowly bring that right knee up and take the left foot back. Go backwards and then bring the right knee to right wrist. Left knee up, take the right foot across the mat. Walk the hips back. Sit the hips into the floor and then sway to the left and to the right as your body gently comes down into the floor, and breathe. So well done for showing up for this longer stretch and giving your body this really nice deep work. So again, not just the muscles and the tendons and the joints and the nervous system, but your heart rate will slow down. Again, the physiological changes in your hormones, the stress hormones would have changed. And that will ultimately change your day. So try and keep some of this more mindful approach for the rest of your day. Well done. Slowly lifting up out of that. Take that right knee backwards. Have a little bit of a wiggle around. Notice how you feel now. How do you feel? Do you feel better? So fantastic work. Well done for showing up for this longer stretch. Whatever you're doing in the rest of your day, have a great day, and I shall see you in the next video.